Good evening. I was actually a Toastmaster of City of Joy Toastmasters Club for a long time, and I had to move into Australia, so I couldn't continue becoming a member over there. But yes, I've been a Toastmaster for like past 3 years, 3.5 years. Yeah, and yeah, thank you, Seemaji, for inviting me. I'm looking forward to enjoy this meeting.
Thank you so much, Ronak, for joining in. I know the time frame might not be suitable for you, but you have taken the effort. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to move on to Ashish Lohani. Ashish?
Yeah. Thank you, Seemaji, for inviting me. And as you all know that I'm a Toastmaster and I'm currently the VP Education of City of Joy Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you for most of our meetings, Ashish.
Yeah.
I would like to move on to Sangeeta Agarwal, please. If you could kindly turn on your video and unmute yourself. Well, I think she might take some time. We could probably move on to Toastmaster Bimal Kundu. If you could please unmute and turn on your video.
Yes, thank you very much, Seemaji.
Thank you for joining in. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Unmute myself.
Yes, please. You're still on mute, Toastmaster Bimal.
Now it is okay. Now it is unmuted.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a fast meeting of, it's a new club,
Yes.
Seemaji.
Yes.
It's an advanced club or not?
Toastmaster Bimal.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in. Can you please introduce yourself?
Unmute myself.
Introduce yourself, please.
Oh, yes. Hi, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. I am Bimal Kundu from CGTM.
Yes.
I joined here as a guest, and I think I have learned from these sessions, and maybe I call the table topics also. So please go ahead. I have to learn something. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bimal. Very enthusiastic. Next, I would like to move on to Toastmaster Nidhi. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, all of you.
I think you're a bit inaudible, Nidhi.
Ma'am, I am audible.
Okay. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, ma'am. I am Nidhi. I am from Bhuwania and Associate. My sir, Amrit Bhuwania, said to me to join it.
Okay. Thank you for joining and hope you have a good session, Nidhi.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. I can see a Pratiti Dasgupta. Ma'am, if you could please unmute and turn on your video.
Good morning, madam. My name is Pratiti Dasgupta and I'm a BA first year Pol Sci student in Bhawanipur. The sessions are quite insightful and I've got to learn many things from them. Thank you.
And how did you come to know about today's meeting?
I got to know about Toastmasters Club from Redula, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Pratiti, for joining in. I hope you have a good session. Okay, I think we'll go on to the guest introductions as and when they come in. So thank you, everyone. And right now is a moment of magnificence. The very first meeting of the Virtual Toastmasters Club, club number 07778934, Area K4, Division K, District 41. So I officially declare this meeting open. A huge round of applause, please. Thank you. At Toastmasters, when we join Toastmasters, we take an oath, promising ourselves and members of the club on why we are here and what we intend to do. And most of the time at Toastmasters meetings, we try to reiterate these promises. So I would like to read out the Toastmasters promise today for the very first meeting. If you could all please orient yourself towards the screen. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. A huge round of applause, please, because the Toastmasters promise is something that I think we all should abide with, and to remind ourselves why we are here for. Okay, now I would like to mention that most Toastmasters meeting, every Toastmaster meeting is officially recorded. And this Herculean task is actually performed by the secretary of the club. So the secretary of Virtual Toastmasters is Toastmaster Shalu Gupta. And from today onwards, she will be recording all the proceedings of the meeting and will be sharing it with the members at an appropriate time. So this is pretty official, the matters, and it's called the moments of the meeting. And all the members will come to know about what has happened in the previous meeting in case you have not been able to attend. So a huge round of applause, please, to our secretary, Toastmaster Shalu Gupta. Several hours before this demonic and devastating cyclone Umphan, I received a phone call. Ma'am, I think it's going to happen. For a moment, I was a bit baffled because I knew it was going to happen. Everybody was awaiting Umphan. And then with a slight nervous tweak, again, ma'am, I'm not talking about the cyclone. I'm talking about the baby, the club, VirtuoMasters. I think it's going to happen. But I'm afraid it's going to happen during a very devastating time. That, ladies and gentlemen, was no other than the gentleman Toastmaster Rohan Nag at the other end of the phone. He was talking about this new baby, the Virtual Toastmasters Club, which was officially formed maybe hours before a devastating situation, a destructive situation. But both Rohan Nag and I, one thing that we have in common is looking out for that silver lining, that bright spark of luminosity during any hour of darkness. And believe me, that was when it happened. Toastmaster Rohan Nag, however, is unable to attend the meeting today due to severe internet connectivity issues in his area. He tried his level best, and he has asked me, or rather I forced him to send a message to all of us over here today, because this is in fact his baby all along. So please give me time to read out his message. And our VPPR, Toastmaster Mrudula Sengupta, has taken the time out to bring out the message onto the screen. So kindly orient yourself towards the screen. These are the words of Toastmaster Rohan Nag, the Area 4 K4 Director. One small step for VirtuoMasters, one giant leap for Toastmasters. Thank you, members, for agreeing to be a part of this club. They say every dark cloud has a silver lining, and for me, this club is my silver lining in these dark times. When a few positive club leads fell flat, due to the COVID incident, a group of 20 motivated and supportive individuals came together to lay the foundation of this club. And I'm sure will pave the way for many individuals to explore and learn from the wonderful world of Toastmasters. Had you all not agreed to take this first step, perhaps some Rohan Nag somewhere would have missed out on Toastmasters. So from that Rohan Nag and this one, I thank you once again for being the charter members of this beautiful club. With your continued blessings, support, and involvement, this club will achieve wonderful things. A huge round of applause, please, to Toastmaster Rohan Nag. I will bring out the way that this club unfolded, the thought for this club, the idea for this club. But at this point, I would really, really like to acknowledge the presence of the 20 fantastic individuals that Rohan Nag was talking about. And believe me, it is easy to get 20 people together, but it is a massive, massive effort to convince them to open a club, especially at this point in time when everybody is in distress because of the pandemic situation. So before I introduce the 20 charter members of this club, from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of Rohan Nag, I would like to thank each and every one of you. Starting off with a dynamic lady at the top of our district, District 41. Now this lady with her smile and her dynamic leadership is enough to launch 100 clubs. And believe me, with her initiative and her never dying enthusiasm and positivity, yes, it will happen. Yes, you can do it. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the District Director of District 41, Jennifer Helen Ghosh, DTM. You. Moving on to another gentleman Toastmaster, who I'm afraid is not present today because he had some other previous appointments. He is none other than the very calm and composed Division Director of Division K, Rati Shankar Ghosh, DTM. A huge round of applause, please, because with all their support, and believe me, support is not even possible when you're on a phone call. You're not even able to meet and beg, plead, and touch someone's feet. You're on the call to ask for support, and it is very, very important that we acknowledge all these dynamic Toastmasters. Next up is another gentleman Toastmaster who is very popular for his speaking abilities, for his writing abilities, and whatever. But he is also the current District Administration Manager, Ayanpal DTM, who I think is not present in today's meeting. But a huge round of applause, please. The past Division Director of Division A is a dynamic gentleman, Satyajit Basu DTM, another very, very prominent, thank you for the applause, a very, very prominent charter member. The District Finance Manager, who is well known for his financial acumen, and also happens to be from my home club, City of Joy Toastmasters Club. A huge round of applause, please. I will continue with the rest of the charter members in no order of preference, please. Keep the drums rolling for Toastmaster Mundra. Huge round of applause, please. Toastmaster Shilpa Agarwal, Toastmaster Anurag Jain, Toastmaster Panna Ray, Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar, Toastmaster Shweta Singhania, Toastmaster Amrish Bhavania, Toastmaster Rohan Nag, Toastmaster Mridula Sengupta, Toastmaster Siddhartha Churiwal, Toastmaster Shweta Surekha, Toastmaster Rupesh Singh, Toastmaster Shalu Gupta, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nayak, and yours truly, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh. Thank you so much. The charter members, you have made this possible, and a huge, huge thank you for each and every one. At this point, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the club sponsors. Toastmaster Shweta Singhania, who is my president of my home club, City of Joy Toastmasters. I would like to also acknowledge the presence of the DFM, Toastmaster Gaurav Agarwal, the club sponsors, and the club mentors, Toastmaster Shaurya Roy of Kolkata Toastmasters Club, and Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar, also of Virtual Toastmasters. With the help and blessings of all these individuals in particular, I'm sure Virtual Toastmasters Club is going to move to really, really new heights. And of course, all the guests and other members who have joined in, without your presence, none of this is going to be possible. Let's move forward with the meeting. For the benefit of the new members and the guests present over here, a regular Toastmaster meeting is conducted in 3 sections. The first section being the prepared speech section, the next the table topics, and the last but not the least, the evaluation section. Now, all these sessions are conducted by a person known as the Toastmaster of the day. Sounds very awesome, doesn't it? Is also known in layman's language as the Master of Ceremonies. And I have the opportunity to be the Toastmaster of the day today. So you'll be hearing a lot of rambling from me, starting from the first moment until the end. I would like to let you know, and on a secret, we were aiming for Toastmaster Rohan Nag to take up the role today. Unfortunately, I'm one of the impromptu backups right now. So I would appreciate it if you could go along with me in this meeting. So I would like to introduce the first section, which is the prepared speech section. That happens at a point where Toastmasters, they prepare themselves. With the help of their mentors, they practice and practice in front of mirrors, in front of their pets, in front of their parents, whatever it is, they practice until they get it perfect. And within a specific period of time, depending on their speech, they deliver their speech to an audience. The next section is the table topic section, which is supposed to be the very happening section of any Toastmaster meeting. Now you may ask me why. Of course, the Toastmasters already know that, the new Toastmasters and the guests, because this is the occasion where you can fumble, you can flunder, you can make mistakes, you can stand like a zombie in front of the audience without uttering a single word. And yet you will be applauded at the end of it. You will not be judged. You will be applauded and encouraged to take part in it. Now, this session is when a table topic master will give you topics to speak on impromptu, and you are on your toes, high heels or flat, and you will have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. The table topic master is a person who might be cursed at the end of the session or might be applauded for doing a good job. And last but not the least is the person who is going to evaluate or give feedback on the meeting as a whole and the individual sections. Now, this person is known as the general evaluator. He or she could also be considered as the general of the army, who is at the end of the session firing and shooting out. And there are some Toastmasters, believe me, who make a fantastic job out of giving evaluations. So today, we at VirtuoMasters are very honored to have a person who I think has a funny bone. All the bones in his body are funny and humorous, because he has been taking part in all humorous contests over years. I've heard him since the beginning of my time, club level, division level, district level, and he has been the district champion for 2018-19 of humorous contests. And this time, he has decided to come out of his comfort zone. All his funny bones are now going to focus on being the division director of Division Q. So please help me welcome Rudra Roy Chaudhary, DTM, to take up the post of the general evaluator today, to kindly unmute and turn on your video and please explain your role today as a general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seema, and what an honor for me to be part of the first ever meeting of Virtuo Toastmasters. Having a club starting at this point of time and having such a great attendance of members is really something that we can learn from. And it's a proof that Toastmasters adds value no matter where you are and what state you are in. So as a general evaluator, I will also try to add value today and give positive, helpful recommendations. So even though I'll be a general, like you said, I will be firing bullets of kind recommendations and things we could do more better and what we did well. So all those. And I'll be noting down everything from the start of the meeting, right from the Sergeant at Arms address till the very end. And I'll have few people who are going to help me today to make the most of this role. So I have 3 assignees along with me. And one of those, the first assignee I'm going to talk about is our timer, Toastmaster Krishnesh. So Krishnesh, if you'd like to explain your role to all the Toastmasters.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, everyone. Good evening. As timer, I will be keeping tab of the time for all the speakers who take the dais and making note if they stay within the stipulated time for their speeches and evaluation. I will be showing the green card at their minimum allotted time, the yellow card at the mean time, and the red card at the max time. All speakers get 30 seconds grace to finish up once they see the red card. On the lower side, also there is a 30-second grace, but not for table topic speakers. I will give my report when I'm called upon at the end of the meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnesh. And also, if the internet connection has some disruptions in case of a speaker, because when they're speaking, we'll try to adjust for that. The timer will stop the time, and if required, we can also give a 30-second grace. So that is something that we do here in virtual meetings. And next we talk about the R counter, who's going to keep a track of all the crutch words. So please, may I request Toastmaster Ashutosh to describe his role.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Today, my role is going to be the scorekeeper, who is going to keep the score of all the clutch words and long pauses which we are taking. I'll try my best that that at the end of the meeting, I can give the appropriate breakup of all the speakers who are speaking, and then I'll share my report when called upon at the end.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. And finally is our grammarian, the grammar queen, or in form of Toastmaster Panna. So may I request Toastmaster Panna to please give her, explain her role, please.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rudra. Good evening, everyone. I'm your grammarian today. It sure feels good to be with the club since its inception, right? My first responsibility as a grammarian is to introduce the word of the day. And the word for today is inception, which means the beginning of an organization or official activity. Synonyms are beginning, origin. Antonym is end. To use it in a sentence, I would say, in 1985, Helen Blanchard became the first lady president of Toastmasters International, 61 years after its inception. So that is the usage of the word. Friends, since we are an online club with fantastic members, let's up the ante a bit. I will not only applaud the usage of the word of the day, but today I would like all the role players, the speakers, to use a proverb when they are speaking, and that will get high praise from me. Okay, so let us all try to use a proverb also. I will give my report on good usage of English and what could have been done better when called upon to do so by the General Evaluator. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Panna. And I'm sure that with your rocking role at the inception of this meeting, at the first inception of this club as a first role player, first grammarian. I'm sure that we will set an example. So I will be back again at the end of the meeting to present my role along with my role players. Till then, I'll hand over the podium to our lovely Toastmaster of the day, come President, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh.
A huge round of applause, please, to DTM Rudra Roy Chaudhary and thanking you for taking up the role of the General Evaluator. Now, as the Toastmaster of the day, I have the privilege of setting a theme to the meeting. And what better theme today than new beginnings? So new beginnings, and when I asked DTM Rudra what was his idea, like he always has a humorous look to everything. So I thought I would just put him a quickie and ask him like, what does he think of the situation of the pandemic? So his answer was so valuable, like maybe years down the line, everything that's happening right now can be looked at in a humorous way and lessons that have been learned. So a huge round of applause, please, for our General Evaluator. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, to take the first step, you do not have to see the entire staircase. You just need to take that first step. And we at Toastmasters, in order to start our speaking journey, we start out with the icebreaker speeches. It is called that icebreaker so that, you literally break the ice with the rest of the club that you are in or the members of the audience you are in. So today, let us start off with the prepared speech section. The prepared speech section, today we have got two fantastic speakers in line. Before introducing the first speaker, I would like the evaluator of the speaker, who is none other than Jennifer Helen Ghosh, DTM, the district director, who has taken up this role today as the evaluator. Ma'am, if you could please kindly read out the objectives of the speech.
Certainly. This is the Icebreaker project from Pathways. It's the first project. The purpose is for the member to introduce themselves and learn the basic structure of public speaking. Now, since this is the inception of our very first meeting and beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, I will be looking at your speech with beauty because I know you're going to give us something beautiful to take back today. Over to you and all the best to the speaker.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. The next speaker, when I asked him about new beginnings, are you brave enough to say goodbye and welcome life with a new hello? His initial answer, like we are on WhatsApp, obviously. So his initial answer was, yes, I would feel bad saying goodbye. But at the same time, we always have to look to a new hello. Only then we can move forward in life. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar, whose speech has been mentored by Toastmaster Rohan Nag. The speech title, Chasing My Dreams. Chasing My Dreams, Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar.
Thank you, ma'am. 1st May 2014, Hyderabad, KPMG. The turbulent weather outside was resembling what was going within me. I was having a bit more tension than usual, not just a bit, but much more. I was feeling shivering. It was really bad. I had just put down my papers. I have decided to chase my dream. I was shattered. I thought that my career would be at a toss. I was feeling very worried. And just a call of 2 minutes was what eased my nerves. The call was from the hero of my life. And the call was like, Father, Beta, how are you? Papa, I am really feeling bad. What happened, Beta? Papa, as I told you, I put down my papers. And I am like really worried that I won't be able to do justice to my talent now. Son, I know you are made of something really good. And whatever you want to do, that's your dream. You will have to leave it and just go for it. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear Master of Ceremonies and dear guests. That day, I shivered. But turbulence was nothing new to me. Turbulence and I go hand in hand. Rather, I say that turbulence has been a friend to me. On a turbulent day in 1987, 7th August, I was born. There's water and water all around. I was born amidst a flood. In a place far away from the hustles and bustles of the city, Darbhanga, small district of Bihar. I was born. The time and the situation were much like COVID today. But every cloud has a silver lining. And there I was, a silver lining in the arms of my parents. I had grown up. Let's get our life fast forward. 17 years hence, the flood returned. The flood returned, brought again situation that was tormentous to me. I was diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis. At that time, tuberculosis was considered a havoc, and we were all having bad time. My family wept at the night, not to show me, but I was one who observed. That day I learned a lesson. Your family is your strength. I made it a point, these days won't go bad. I learned a lesson that this is your family that gives you strength, and you have to live by them. And living for the desire and the happiness of my family became my ultimate destiny. And all my dreams are particularly the dream of my parents today. I took strength from my times. I've been someone who always loves being a go-getter, and that is a tagline that has been given to me. Every time they said that you won't be able to do something, I was the one who would put my hands up and say, I'll achieve it. A small incident from my life would justify that thing. I was in class 12th. I have never topped the school till that time. A friend of mine, I went to her and said, can you give me your notes? And she was like, why? You might top. I said, really? Do you think you top because you study? It's the other way around, ma'am. It's because I don't. I proved to be a man of my words. I did top for the 3 semesters straight and the district as well that year. I pushed through my higher educations. I joined BU. After completing my graduations, I started doing chartered accountancy. I'm a practicing chartered accountant today, but let's get into that beautiful time. That time when we feel a tinge of attraction towards somebody, that great feeling of love, and I was almost there. I started having attraction towards a friend of mine, and she sent me huge good ways. But this was not for me, I believe. And she found someone better and left me. I was shattered to say the least. The very next day, I felt like that I should drop everything and go and finish my life. Just on the verge of committing that cowardly act, the pictures of my family flew by, and I just rattled that idea, scrapped that idea, and was super focused on finishing my share thereafter. I became a chartered, and 4 years hence, I met someone who was a friend of the one who left me. She was positivity and happiness personified. I married her, and we are having a settled life. Toastmasters happened to me when I was already a chartered. I wanted to improve my skills. I had dreams of being a speaker, maybe in the caliber of Jennifer ma'am, maybe of the caliber of Ayanda, maybe of the caliber of Satyadeepda, and maybe of the caliber of Mark Brown. But every journey has started with a single step. That step was taken by me back in 2018 when I joined my home club, City of Joy Toastmasters. I have already completed my leadership development path, and I am on my next path. My dear friends, the dreams are there, but you have to believe in them. I have been living my dream of employing myself and providing employment to others. I am living my dream of speaking in front of the elite crowd that we have, and I'm a part of the virtual Toastmaster, which has had its inception today. The go-getter I am, I can say you that you don't need to dream high, you need to live your dreams. What do you say, Toastmaster of the day? Mute hai, ma'am. Ma'am, you're muted.
This is what happens when we are not tech savvy. You know, we keep forgetting to mute and unmute. My apologies, please. Once again, I'd like to thank you, Toastmaster Sheetal, for this wonderful speech. As I was saying, this is the second time round that I'm hearing you introduce yourself, and I can get to know you better. That's really good. Before we move on, I'd like to say something like, most of the time, have you ever felt that there is something staring at you right in front of you and you don't recognize it? And then you realize at a later point in time, oh, I should have done that. I should have taken it. Well, the next speaker is a lady just like that. She knew about Toastmasters apparently a long time back, but she didn't take the plunge to join in. Then she became a coach, a trainer, which meant what? She had to face an audience, she had to talk. She had to put across a message, she had to communicate. Then she recollected, oh, there is something called Toastmasters. And that's when she decided to join in. So when I asked her if it was her sole decision to join Toastmasters, she said, no, not really. It was with the help of a business coach that she wanted to move forward and improve her communicating skills. Before I introduce the next speaker, I would like to call upon her evaluator, our DFM, Toastmaster Gaurav Agarwal, to kindly read out the objectives of the speech. Toastmaster Gaurav Agarwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I am audible, right?
Yes, yes you are.
Thank you. The speaker is attempting the second speech from the evaluation and feedback, which is project 2 of level 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from her first speech. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes for this speech. All the best to the speaker. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gaurav. With a huge round of applause, kindly welcome Toastmaster Shweta Surekha, who's following the path of motivational strategies with the speech title, A Proud Wallflower. A Proud Wallflower, and she's been mentored by Toastmaster Rohanag again. Kindly welcome Toastmaster Shweta Surekha.
What's in the name? Do you like your name? How did you get it? How has it shaped you? Would you keep the name you have all your life or take another? Why? Has these questions ever bothered you? Well, it got me thinking recently, and one random day, I just Googled my name. And the only meaning it showed was fair complexion. And my immediate thought was, why am I Shweta? And the next thing I did was, I called up my manufacturer, my mother. And the moment she picked up her phone, Mama, who named me Shweta? I must say, she was startled that after all these years, I'm asking her this. But moms being moms, she calmly replied, Bache, when you were born, you were a fair child. But gradually, your complexion became dull. That's okay, Mama. But who gave me my name? After a long pause, she answered, it was me. Oh, how wonderful. But why? Are all fair girls named Shweta? Or was it a very in name that time? I must say, My mom didn't really have an answer to this. But ladies and gentlemen, this got me thinking. And I could finally put the pieces together. It is now I understood that why, while I was growing up, my mother used to insist on putting various creams and pastes on my face. It was now I understood why she did not want me to go out too much in the sun. And it is now I understood that why from every social gathering she used to come back teary-eyed. But I must say, my mother, or for that matter, any of my family members, did not let that affect me. It was their constant support and encouragement that helped me move forward in my life, in spite of being so much of societal pressure in the form of advertisements of fair creams and various other products. It was their motivation that probably helped me remain an academic topper throughout my life. But another thing that I remained all my life was a proud wallflower. I have always enjoyed listening more and talking less. And we all know, what do we call such people? Introverts. 5 minutes into a conversation where I was actually listening, people would start commenting. Why don't you participate? Why don't you speak? What's wrong with you? For reasons unfathomable, I couldn't understand that why it was such a stigma. Why silence always meant negative. And on hearing these so many times, somewhere I formed an impression on the back of my mind that being an introvert is a bad thing. It made me feel that not being talkative can be a stigma. In school days, when I cracked a joke, it became a joke in itself. But thanks to my upbringing again, I was determined not to let these be hindrances in my personal or professional life. I always chose to back myself while facing such baseless thoughts. And ladies and gentlemen, this Shweta, whose name did not justify her complexion, who was ridiculed for being an introvert, met a knight in shining armor, had a love marriage, and today is a life coach. And when my friends and families got to know that I'm having a love marriage, all they could react was utter shock. All they could ask me was, how did you guys fall in love? What did you all talk about? Ask my husband now, he'll tell how less I talk at home. Ladies and gentlemen, all I would like to say is communication does not always mean talking. Yes, at times it is a challenge when I have to push myself out of the comfort zone when I'm in a social gathering or when I have to sell my work or product. But I like to take it up as a challenge to push beyond my comfort and be present in the moment. Each one of us are special. Each one of us have talents. It is up to us to believe in ourselves, to trust ourselves, and go out and achieve it. I strongly believe that if you can believe, dream, then you can definitely achieve it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. A huge round of applause, please. Who would say that you are a wallflower? By no chance. And I'm sure with your stint here as the Sergeant at Arms of VirtuoMasters Club, I'm sure you're going to bloom into one of the best flowers ever in the world. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sweta. Ladies and gentlemen, before I continue with the next session, I would like to, bring out like how I started interacting with Toastmaster Rohan and how we came about this club and me ending up being the president. Toastmaster Rohan, I first began knowing him when he was introduced as the area director of my area and my club, City of Joy Toastmasters Club. He was a young man who would come into our meetings and observe the meetings, which I was very fascinated. I mean, an area director taking time out on a Sunday from 11 to 1, coming out and attending meetings to see how we perform, to check out on the quality. He would appear very innocent, but then a few days later, a WhatsApp message would come, bang, 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 you need to improve on this. So this is when I began to realize that this young Toastmaster it does want to do something. He has something on his mind. And as and when we went on, he would want to start out new clubs with organizations, introducing them about Toastmasters, telling them the benefits, and I would attend these demo meetings. So after a demo meeting, he would come out with a positivity, okay, these guys might open a club. Few days later, or maybe no response from them. What do we do? Shall we tap them again? Shall we go in for another demo meeting? And he would go on and on and on. And then by the time it was February and March came COVID, the coronavirus. So whatever opportunities were there just went down the drain by this very minuscule virus. But did Toastmaster Rohan give up? No, I almost did, because if we cannot even step out of our houses for the fear of a virus attacking us, who on earth is going to even attempt to try and open a club, for God's sake? But this man didn't give up. He came up with, we need online meetings. Online meetings are going to be the new normal. So why don't we just start out with an online club? And maybe when situations improve, we might become a hybrid club and have, the venue type of a meeting maybe once in a while. So I was all for it. I supported, and thinking that, okay, it is Rohan who's going to do all the hard work in any case. But then I was very, very happy at the way his enthusiasm did not fail. Impromptu situations came up. He marched forward. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how we have begun the first meeting of BMC. These impromptu situations are the ones which always bring out the best in us. Believe me. And that is what the next section of a Toastmaster meeting is all about. It is called the table topic section. And I have a very dynamic lady whom I got to know a couple of years ago from my home club, City of Joy Toastmasters. Now, I had asked her, like, although I know her pretty well, I wanted her to give a specific answer for today's theme, the new beginnings. I asked her, what do you think, or why do you think we need to make a new beginning? So prompt came her answer, we need to take the initiative. We need to take the first step, always. Otherwise, how are we even going to know whether we can move up or not? And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this young lady, she is a professional businesswoman. She is a mother. She handles an entire household. And after joining in Toastmasters as a treasurer, her first leadership role, she has moved forward, and she is now at the helm of one of the topmost community clubs in our division. With a huge round of applause, please help me welcome the table topic master for today, Toastmaster Sweta Singhania.
Please keep it going for a wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Welcome to the first meeting and the first exciting session of VirtuoMasters Club. I hope all of you are very, very, very excited. I'm really privileged and honored to be a part of this new beginning and very excited to conduct this session, the table topic session. Let me explain my role as a table topic master for the benefit of the guest. As a table topic master, I will give you topics to speak, and you have to speak impromptu on the topic for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds. This is one such session in which the guests can also participate, and they have the privilege of changing the topic once if they are not comfortable with the first one. As you all know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, this club has taken its first step. The members have taken their first step. The prepared speakers have taken their first step. The role players like me as table topic master have taken their first step. Now I want to know, are you all ready to take that first step to be the first table topic speaker of today? Yes or no? So I have 10 topics with me, numbering 1 to 10. The number which you choose will decide the topic on which you speak. And since the theme is new beginnings, so more or less all my topics are connected to that. A start, an initiative, new beginnings. So who would like to volunteer first? I would like to know. They can raise their hand or write in the chat box or message to me personally. Okay. I would like to ask any Toastmaster first so that they can set the tone of the. Okay, Dr. Rupesh Singh is raising his hand. Okay, Dr. Rupesh Singh, are you a Toastmaster?
Yeah, I'm Toastmaster on KTM.
Okay, from which club?
KTM, Kolkata Toastmaster Club.
Okay, okay. Okay, so which number you choose between 1 to 10? What is your lucky number?
Either 1 or 10. Both comes 1.
Say 1.
In the numerology.
Yeah,
In the numerology,
which
both
one?
is 1, so it is fine. Either
Which
1 or 10, anything.
Anything, okay. Then I'll give you 1. Toastmaster Rupesh Singh, your topic is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Toastmaster Rupesh Singh.
Very good evening, fellow Toastmaster, would-be Toastmaster in this virtual forum. See, being a great, nothing. It's your stamina, your inner voice. When people never born great. Who thought Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who born in no poor family, will become Prime Minister one day? Who thought of Barack Obama will become President of America one day? Even you talk about India, who thought of Swami Ramdev, born in poor family, he never had a food to eat, but he became a yoga guru and he became a new entrepreneur, and he's showing the path not only in the yoga but all in the retail business as well. The thing is only one thing, your motivation level. If you know, you can achieve. If you have belief, you can achieve. Just think about how motivation works, how your motivation can make you the great person one day. As per the rule of aerodynamics, bumblebee cannot fly, but it flies. You know why? She flies because she don't know the rule of aerodynamics. She knows the rule of her own. She knows because she has belief, and her belief only make her determined to achieve their goal, to how to fly. Same lies with us. If you firm about your goal, if you firm about your destination, if you know what you need to do, if you keep try, you will start good beginning. I always quote the quote of Rabindranath Tagore, "Jodi tumhar daak se ne koi na aise, tumi ekla chalo re," and I always relate मैं अकेले चला था ढूंढने मंजिल मगर लोग आते गए कारवां बनता गया. That makes you leader. That way you will be always in front and you will set an example to be a leader. And one day, that leadership skill make you great. Thank you very much. Over to Toastmaster Vade.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rupesh Singh. That was a wonderful take, giving example of such great leaders. A wonderful take on the topic. Now, I would like to call DTM Satyadeep Basu.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So, which number you choose?
8.
8.
8. Yeah, 8.
Okay, 8. Okay, DTM Satyadeep Basu. Your topic is, it's never too late for a new beginning. It's never too late for a new beginning. DTM Satyadeep Basu.
We always think that once we are old, we are done. Done in terms of any new activity that we want to take in our life. But that's not true. I can cite 2 examples right now. Think of J.K. Rowling, rejected so many times, at least 11 times, 11 publishers rejected. Now, what kind of a mental situation was she going through when she was rejected 10 to 11 times? Till and until the 12th publisher decided to publish her writing. And then Harry Potter became world famous. So it is never ever too late to have or to start something afresh. What about Colonel Sanders? That chicken wings that we take, or that burger from KFC, rejected so many times, the recipe, and which has now become world famous. Colonel Sanders, I think, started KFC at the age of 65. At the age of 65, probably everyone would call it a day. Only spirited people like Jennifer Helen Ghosh, DTM, wants to learn, wants to rise and shine, isn't it? She always says that it is never too late to learn. And that's the inspiration that we get from our district director. So I personally feel there is no end to learning. Learning never stops. You need to learn, and only then that L goes away and you earn. So learn to earn, isn't it? So it's never too late to start. If you are thinking that you are done and dusted, your learning is over, a fresh beginning is over, no. There is a road ahead. Please travel on that. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM Satyadeep Basu. A wonderful take that could have been expected from a DTM. A perfect example of our district director, DTM Jennifer Ghosh and J.K. Rowling, obviously. So very well said, learning never stops. We all learn new things every day. So I would now like to call Toastmaster Prasanna Kumar from my home club, CJTM, City of Joy Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Prasanna Kumar.
Yes.
So what is your lucky number?
7.
7. Let me see, is it lucky for you today or not? Toastmaster Prasanna Kumar. Your topic is, a good beginning makes a good ending. A good beginning makes a good ending. Toastmaster Prasanna Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta, for giving me such a wonderful topic. So it is said that when you start well, you will end well. So every person, you look at the Sir Isaac Newton, you look at the Tesla, they have started well and they become a very phenomenal engineer and scientist in their life because they have started well and they have researched well and they ended well in their life because they started well. So we need to start well to get into the track very well too, so that we can end well. if you talk about myself, my father always told me that Prasanna, you need to start very well so that you can get things well in your life. And that I took that thing very seriously. And since my childhood, I started preparing for a competition examination from class 10th because I want to become a good engineer. And that thing I started in my class 10th only. And it landed me into a good engineering college and a good company of India because I started well and I ended well. No time. But this thing has not lasted yet. I have to grow in my life. That is why I joined Toastmaster, and I delivered my icebreaker very well, because I believe when I start well, then I end well. And I have completed my level 1 with a good comments from the evaluator, because I have started my icebreaker well. And that will, I believe that will also land me into good situation where I will complete my level 5 well, because I have started well. And I believe that starting well will give you an insight that things will end well. So I request everyone that whatever you get challenges in your life, whatever you get tasks in your life, try to start things well, because if you start well, you will end well. Over to you, Toastmaster Sweta.
Very well said, Toastmaster Prasanna Kumar. One who starts well ends well, and you have given perfect example of your life. So next, let's move on to the next speaker. I have got the request from our counter Toastmaster Ashutosh. Ashutosh, I can't see you. Where are you? Yes, Ashutosh, can you come on audio, please? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Ashutosh.
Thanks for selecting.
So, what's your lucky number, Ashutosh?
Let's go with number, I think you gave number 10 already, or?
Yeah,
still
1,
seven?
1, 7, and 8 are done.
All right, let's go with 10.
10, okay. Okay, Toastmaster Ashutosh, your topic is everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thanks so much for giving this topic. Um, all right, so if I go back in time and if I think about what I wanted to achieve when I was a kid, I mean, I always dreamt of being an engineer, doing something for my nation. And at that point in time, I remember I got into NDA as well. I mean, I sat for this NDA examination as well, and then I went in and gave interview to join Indian Army. But it was probably the fear which was going on in back of my mind, which didn't let me join the Indian Army at that point in time. So if I look back today and if I see, I mean, I can clearly see that my fear was something which was stopping me from achieving my dream. Even if I look at it today, whatever tasks which I do today, whenever I kind of go beyond the fear which I have in my mind, it's something which always helps in achieving what I want to achieve in my life. So based on whatever I have experienced, whatever I have seen in my life, I certainly think that dar ke aage jeet hai. So thank you so much. I think it's an insightful thing which actually made me think for a moment that which fear of my life I should talk about. So thanks so much, table topic Toastmaster Sweta Singhania, for this wonderful topic. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Really well said. Dar ke aage jeet hai. Yes, there's success on the other side of fear. So this last one to go. Who would like to volunteer? Any guest here? Is there any guest who would like to volunteer? If no one is raising hand, then I will call. I can choose anyone. Okay, then it's on me. I would like to call GTM Jennifer Ghosh.
I'm the I'm the evaluator. Call somebody else. Don't give
Okay,
double
okay,
roles.
okay. Then Mridula, Toastmaster Mridula.
Okay, thank you so much.
So Mridula, what is the lucky number?
Well, I got logged out for a meeting due to connectivity issues. So can you please tell me the available numbers?
Okay,
Which numbers is
2356.
not
2356.
2.
2. Okay. Toastmaster Mridula, your topic is what is not started today is never finished tomorrow. What is not started today is never finished tomorrow. Toastmaster Mridula.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. Well, going with the theme of the meeting and going with the word of the day, inception, the inception of every special thing begins with a single step, just like our president, our charter president, Toastmaster Seema, shared today. I believe that, just like she said, that sorry, I forgot the topic. I'm so sorry. I forgot the topic, but I'll just go forward with whatever had been the first thought which came into my mind. So yes, journey of a thousand miles starts with a single step, and I believe that the start of every new and the inception of every new project should be special. It need not be the best, because I have heard something in recently, and there I believe, and I took a very important lesson from there. Done is better than perfect. It does not matter whether you achieve or attain perfectionism in each and every activity that you do, but what is important is you do it. And for that, to do something in life, you need to start somewhere, and you need to start at some point, and you need to keep at it. When I joined Toastmasters, to be very honest, the leadership journey of every Toastmaster inspired me. It inspired me so much that I started with my single step of being one of the content writers in the marketing team of my home club, of my club. Step by step, brick by brick, I started understanding the nuances of leadership and how I can hone my skills to become a better leader. And I believe if you find your true calling, if you start with the single step, you are definitely going to be a winner in life. Back to you, Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mridula. We had a learning from your speech today. You stuck in between, but then also you made a new beginning. That is a great learning. So step by step, we improve. So due to the paucity of time, I'm sorry I would not be able to call any more members. I hope this session was exciting and wonderful. I would hand over to the Toastmaster, wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta. Huge round of applause, please, for such a wonderful impromptu session. You kept everybody on their toes, of course, as usual. But this is one of the most exciting sections of a meeting. Hope you all join in for future meetings to make avail of this session. Now, before we continue with the most valuable feedback session, the evaluation section, I would like to share a few messages. Upon the inception of this club, I was thinking like I need to let as many people know as possible about VirtuoMasters. And I sent out invitations as much as possible to as many people as possible in the short span of time. And we got a lot of responses, people who were not able to attend, but have sent in their great blessings and wishes. I would like to share a couple of messages, especially of the international president, Deepak Menon, DTM. He was very, very prompt in his response. I just shot him the email, and I think within half an hour response came. And I was like flabbergasted. My goodness, such an important and very busy person replying to some Toastmaster, sending a message from some place, God knows where, of some club that is opening up. There are tons of clubs opening all around the world. But this, I believe, is why he is the international president. So if you could please share the screen, Toastmaster Mridula. We have just taken out
yes,
a few.
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am, may I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah, definitely. Just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear President Seema Ramesh, thank you for your email and for your invitation. I am thrilled that VirtuoMasters Club has been chartered and is conducting its charter ceremony, And as rightly stated, that Toastmasters around the world are engaging more confidently and creatively than before through the online platforms. Unfortunately, I shall be unable to participate in the meeting. I wish you and all the members of the club the best for a grand event and hope you have an exciting and educational journey at Toastmasters. Warm regards, Deepak. Now, I felt it is very important to bring out such messages, and that on our very first meeting, to know that there is support. And by the way, he had put a PS that he will try and attend as many meetings as possible when time permits. Another gentleman Toastmaster who has given his message, his inability to attend the meeting, is none other than our division director of Division K, Brati Shankar Ghosh, DTM. Hello, Seema ji. Thanks a lot for the invitation. It is indeed an honor to be invited to the charter meeting of the club. However, I must profusely apologize. I may not be able to attend as I have a meeting clashing with the same. But I wish the very best of luck to you and all the team members of the club. I'm sure you would have a great session and the future of the club is very, very bright. Regards, Brati Shankar Ghosh. Now, this person is also another very calm and composed person who I find it very easy to interact with and has a vision all the time and the positivity as well. So Toastmasters here present here in the meeting and future Toastmasters, please understand that with blessings and best wishes from people, from Toastmasters like these is in fact what is going to keep us moving. Now, without further ado, I would like to move on with the next section, which is the general evaluation section. I'd like to call upon Rudradev Roy Chaudhary, DTM, to please do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seema, for that wonderful introduction of this session and the start of the meeting, as well as conducting this meeting in such a wonderful way. Now let us begin the general evaluation section. And to start off with, let us start with the prepared speech evaluations. So our first speaker was Toastmaster Sheetal, whose evaluator was Toastmaster, just a moment, DTM Jennifer. So may I request DTM Jennifer to please deliver evaluation. Timer, please note that time will be 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Rudro, Mr. General Evaluator, and to Sheetal. Sheetal started his story with drama. Why I say drama is because he started with May 2014, Hyderabad, turbulence outside and turbulence inside. He waved and then he started weaving a conversation on the phone with his father, which revealed to me that his hero, his father, had tremendous trust on his son's decision to quit his company. I believe, Sheetal, your USP of the speech today, the winning USP of the speech, was the humor which you have placed so beautifully all across your speech. Like turbulence and me go hand in hand, COVID and birth, born amidst floods, the silver lining, and so many incidents about your life in general made me get to know you pretty well, I would say. I mean, this is a 4 to 6 minute speech, but it seemed as though I've got so much of a sense of you. You took me then backwards to class 12 and how you had a conversation with a friend, and again, humor. Do you think you pass because you study? No, it's because I don't. Fabulous way of doing things. Let me tell you, Sheetal, you just floored me. Another thing to ponder about is your, the essence of saying, I'm a chartered accountant. You brought it in twice, I think, in your speech. You had a bad experience with your first love, and then you got again involved with the second lady of your life, and you are married happily. Such a wonderful way of weaving it out. The only thing I felt here, there was a little bit of a necessity for you to explain, like you said, that bad emotion of my breakup, and I scrapped the idea of, death. So this was said very casually because death is not casual. I would have liked it to be more emotional, more connecting with the audience and with me in particular. But otherwise, I really felt that another thing which did not come true, Sheetal, was you chase my dreams. So you quit your company in Hyderabad to chase your dreams, but I did not find out what your dreams were. But other than that, I came to know perfectly well about you, your life in this very short 4 to 6 minute speech. And it was an awesome experience for me. So again, I say the inception was great. And as I said, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you have given me one beautiful take back today. And that is a lovely, lovely experience about your speech. Thank you so much. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Jennifer. And that was really a very comprehensive evaluation. You started off with commendations, and then gave very good recommendations and pinpointed the way the speech can be better. So well done on that part, and really nothing to say from my side. And I agree with the DTM Jennifer, the Toastmaster Sheetal, if you could just have pointed out at the end how the message came out. So you had a very good message at the end, that it's not necessary to dream big, but if you dream small, you need to follow it and go through with it. So how did that come out from your life? If you could have had a little insight into that, the speech would have had a lot of value, which it already does. So thank you, both of you. Now let's move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Shweta, whose evaluator was Toastmaster Gaurav. So may I request Toastmaster Gaurav to please give his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, dear guests, and our proud wallflower in particular. What's in a name? Shakespeare had said. But I'm sure all of us have at least once Googled or searched the meaning of our name. And I wonder, are we doing justice to our name? Toastmaster Shweta, today you have made me realize that it does not matter whether I have done justice to my name. Rather, I should focus on my skills and work on that. You inspired us today to do our best irrespective of the criticism the world throws at us, and the importance of having the family support. In terms of delivery, Toastmaster Shweta, the speech was properly phrased. You were audible and clear. I could understand each and every word you spoke. I also like the fact that throughout your speech, you were looking at the camera and making sure that the eye contact with the audience was there. Toastmaster Shweta, while it was a good speech, I have a few recommendations which will make it even better. Firstly, the structure of your speech. You started off by talking about your name, then you went on to you being an introvert. And in the end, you tried to talk about your love marriage and even tried to pass on a message. But the message didn't come across. So if you could work on the message part a bit, ensure that throughout your speech, the message is repeated about us focusing on our skills and ensuring that we achieve the best out of us, then I think this could be a better speech. Also, Toastmaster Shweta, the voice modulation in your speech were lacking. For example, when you had a phone call or conversation with your mother, you could have used two different voice tones. For example, when you were talking to your mother, you said, "Mother, who has named me as Shweta?" And you said, "Beta, see, when you were born, you were very fair." So you could have a different voice tone to that. Also, when you talked about world criticism, you did not have different voice tones or pitch of the voice. So, for example, when you're talking about that even jokes were made out of your jokes, you could have used such a remark like, "Oh, Shweta, you can even joke? We did not know." Also, when you talked about your family being shell-shocked by coming to know that you're getting into a love marriage or you're getting married, you are into a love marriage, you could have showed that my family was shell-shocked. How can Shweta be in a love marriage? Toastmaster Shweta, kudos to you that you incorporated 2 out of your 3 recommendations from your previous speech. I'm sure if you can work on the recommendations that I have given to you today, your speech would even be better. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, for that clear and crisp evaluation. And though I do not have the previous speech for Toastmaster Shweta, I still felt that this speech was very confident. You delivered it with a lot of clarity, and like Toastmaster Gaurav said, the speech was understandable and interpretable. What I agree with the Toastmaster Gaurav in the fact that the structure, even though I felt that they could be linked, but the link was not very apparent initially or at the start. So at the start, you talked about your color and the name Shweta, and you had a conversation, and then later you talked about being a wallflower. Now, how is the wallflower related to your naming or your complexion? Is it you're a wallflower or because of lack of confidence because of your color, or is it because of the name that you were given? So that link was not there. And how did it impact when you were in the relationship? So why did the relatives get shocked? Is it because of your complexion, because they did not expect you to attract anyone, or was it because of your confidence? So what was the point of their shock? So that I felt that it was implied. If it could have been brought out a little, would have made things more clear. And overall, I really liked the message of your speech. So Toastmaster Gaurav, only I felt one thing that can be better in the evaluation is that strong negatives, like something a speaker did not do that, could have been replaced with a speaker could have done this better, or some element was not there, could have been replaced with some element like the voice modulation, could have been more. So things like that. Otherwise, your evaluation was very clear and it pointed out just the right things. Thank you, both of you. And now I would, before I go on to the sessions evaluation as a whole, let me take the 3 reports of the 3 assignees so that we have enough information for voting. So may I request first Toastmaster Krishnesh to give out the timer's report for the entire meeting.
Good evening, General Evaluator. I would like to congratulate all speakers for being within time and qualifying for voting. Toastmaster Sheetal, you took 6 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Shweta, you took 6 minutes 20 seconds for your prepared speeches. Toastmaster Jennifer, you took 3 minutes 16 seconds. And Toastmaster Gaurav, you took 3 minutes 14 seconds for your evaluations. Toastmaster Rupesh, you took 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Satyadeep, 2 minutes 16. Toastmaster Prasanna, 2 minutes 14. Toastmaster Ashutosh, 1 minute 55. And Toastmaster Mridula, 2 minutes 24 seconds for your table topic speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Now I'll ask Toastmaster Ashutosh for the R counters report.
Thank you so much. The general evaluator. Uh, Amazing session for me as a I mean, it's my inception session, first session with the inception of this club. So an amazing experience for me. If we look at the overall usage of this crutch words, the most number of times the word which was used by most of us was a. I was able to count it for 26 times. Pauses were used 4 times. And then there were some other words like okay, so, which were used 2 to 3 times. If we look at it individually, a and long pause was used by Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar twice. Our evaluation speaker, Gaurav, used again long pause and 2 times. Shweta, I was not able to count any crutch words. All I can say was, your smile was actually topping on top of the entire speech which you gave, and I was able to connect to that. Our table topic master, Shweta, has used this okay and twice. Then we had a table topic speaker Prasanna Kumar, where I was able to count this and 6 times. When I spoke, I think probably it was 11 times when this okay, so was used. Mridula used long pauses twice. And then finally, when Jennifer was giving the evaluation, and I mean were used twice. So that's the report which I have from my side. Thank you so much, Aman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. And I must commend you that you not only took a individual count of the crutch words, you also gave a full count, that total how many times it was used in the session, which was very alarming, like 26 and 140 or whatever count.
I actually have a graph with me, so maybe from next time onward we can share that on screen.
Wonderful. Yeah, you can
I think as a
also
team we need to see how we are. Sorry.
Right. No, great idea. You can also put it as the part of the MOM so that people can benefit from it. Whatever is okay with you. Next, I will ask our grammarian Toastmaster Panna to please give her report.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. The word of the day was used by Toastmaster Rudra, Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar, Toastmaster Seema, and Toastmaster Ashutosh once, and by Jennifer ma'am and Mridula twice. Kudos to all of you. Now the proverbs. There were some beautiful proverbs used by some of you. Jennifer ma'am used beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder twice. Sheetal Kumar said every cloud has a silver lining. And Toastmaster Sweta Singhania and Toastmaster Mridula and Toastmaster Sheetal Kumar had talked about every step, every journey starts with a single step. Now Toastmaster Ashutosh also used a saying, but he said it in Hindi. I would have liked it if he would have translated it in English. He said, "Dar ke aage jeet hai," which if I translated into English would have been better accepted. Now some good usage of English. Opportunities went down the drain. Done and dusted. Perfectionism. Nuances of leadership. Paucity of time. Flabbergasted. Very well done, all of you who use these words. Now let me be a little bit of a mother-in-law role and tell a bit about some sentences which could have been told better. A Toastmaster has said, "I'm someone who loves being a go-getter." You could have shortened that sentence and just said, "I am a go-getter." Better formation of the sentence. Then another Toastmaster has said, "I started getting attraction." It should have been started getting attracted. Then this sentence was used, "never had a food to eat." Instead of that, "didn't have food to eat" or "didn't have any food" would have been better sentence. That's all for my report for today. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panna, for adding a new twist as well to the report by having not just word of the day, but proverbs as well. So now let me go through the session as a whole very quickly, since we have run out of time. So we started at 4:33, which is understandable because it's the first meeting. We still are not sure about the role, so we are still learning. So once time goes on, maybe we can designate a tech lead who can do the muting, unmuting, and the role changes, the spotlights, which were happening at some parts. I think Toastmaster Mridula was taking the responsibility, so well done there. And secondly, what I feel is the VP education is the first person to take note of how the session is progressing in terms of time, whether it is starting on time and how is it going as per agenda, and to negotiate or to pass messages so that things happen according to the time. So that I feel, if the VP education is not there, the president can take ownership of that and things can go forward with that. So Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shweta, very well done. I think you have had prepared quite a lot for the role, and you had a very good speech at the start, which was very inspirational. And also you had new rules that you had set apart from a regular Toastmasters meeting, things like don't write inappropriate things on the chat and be proper when you're setting. So all those are important things for an online meeting. You did that very well. Next is Toastmaster Seema, who was the president come TMOD. So well done on both the parts. You took the guest introductions from everyone, and you introduced a little bit about the club and how the secretary is going to record the meeting so that everybody knows that they are being recorded. And you had beautiful introduction of all the eminent Toastmasters in the club, as well as the other charter members who started and tried to form the club. And then later on, you went through the messages sent by our DTM Brati and Toastmaster Rohan Nag. All of them were, what do I say, very inspirational and really brought out the message of why Toastmasters is important at this time. And obviously our international director, international president, Deepak Menon. So I think your role was well done on that part. One small recommendation I'd have is that if you could have given a small message on the chat to all the people who are coming in that we'll be taking your guest introductions shortly. So people would be ready, and that maybe you could have got a few other recommendations, some better introductions or more prepared introductions, because people did not really know that they were supposed to give an introduction. So that was the one thing. And I also felt that if you could have spread out the information about the club formation to 3 equal parts, maybe not have that much at the start, that would have made things more uniform, because I felt the first segment before the prepared speech or before the introduction of the GE, it took about half an hour. So could have shortened that and put it between the TTM and the GE. So that was one. And table topic master, Toastmaster Shweta, well done on description of the role and motivating people to come in. I only felt that if I don't know whether I had missed, but did you describe that guests can change their topic? If you had, then good, but you could have maybe repeated it once because the guests were not volunteering. I thought that they were a little scared because they thought that such difficult topics and I won't get to change, and I probably will not get easy topics. So that maybe could be taken care of at the later on. And let me just talk about the table topic speakers. So I think a lot of the table topic speakers spoke really well and on the topic, so I won't really go in specifics except a few recommendations. So I just felt that Toastmaster Ashutosh spoke really well about a personal experience where he could not join NDA because of his fear. So it would have been really good if you had an incident where you had overcome the fear. So the other side of the story would have been really inspirational. So that is my idea. And Toastmaster Midula, I felt that you had a good grasp on the topic. It was about starting. So your topic was what is not started is never finished tomorrow. So you talked about starting, and if you had forgotten, it would be good if you just go on and continue without stopping. So that makes more sense because we have already forgotten the topic. So that happens. It happens to all of us. So those are the two things that I'd like to recommend. And it was a fantastic session from everyone, and well done everyone. I hope that since we have had a great start at the inception of the meeting, at the inception of this club, I hope that even at the 100th or the 1000th meeting, we have the same energy. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day, come President, Toastmaster Seema.
Thank you so much, Rudra Roy Chaudhary, DTM, for that fantastic evaluation. We could, as being a very new club, we could do with a lot of recommendations, kind ones, and not so kind ones maybe, because we really need to be on our toes and set the bar. Now, before I wrap up today's meeting, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of the guests who joined in, some Toastmasters as well. The first would be Satyade Basu DTM. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I am very much there, Simaji. Very much there. Today, excellent session, and today was a full Toastmaster session for me. Full Toastmaster session in the sense morning, an evaluation in TMKTC, TCS, Maitri. Then next, a speaker in special IBM meeting. IBM meeting, three IBM clubs had joined together, and now a table topic speaker. So all three sections of Toastmaster session done today. And yes, yeah, great beginning. Great beginning. Nice to see everyone. And let's hope we continue with this momentum.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Rupesh Singh, Toastmaster. I didn't acknowledge him in the beginning of the meeting, I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Simaji.
I'd like to go in for some guest feedback as well, please. There's a guest, Pratiti Dasgupta, who's not a Toastmaster. So I'd really like to know your feedback, please.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm facing some issues with the with my video. So, like, can I? It was really insightful, and I enjoyed listening to you all. That's what all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hope you can join us in our meetings in the future as well. And last but not the least, I would really appreciate if our district director, she's taken time out to join us for this meeting. If you could please put in a few words, ma'am.
Hi, I really had a lovely time, enjoyed a meeting. I'm attending a meeting for the first time after ages, a complete meeting that is, I'm taking up a role also. So really great, enjoyed tremendously. And I would just like to say, carry on the good work. Let this club be like a role model for other virtual clubs so that we have some more hybrid clubs getting born. And we give the opportunity to those people who are not able to make it live to a session, so they can also join in through the virtual platform. So all the very best and a great session. Thank you to all the role players. Thank you to all the people who are behind the success of this club. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A huge round of applause, please, for everybody present here at the meeting as well. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out to support us for this very first meeting. But I would really like to let you know that every baby has teething problems. Some have really huge problems, some have minor, but problems are problems. And I'm sure we will also face these. And with your support of all of you, please spread the word about the club as well. And it will give an opportunity to make the world a smaller place to live in. So on that note, I would like to officially close this meeting and hope to see you all at the same time next week on Saturday. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we request everyone to kindly unmute themselves and give a huge round of applause for everybody? And also, I would request everyone to kindly switch on your videos for the final group picture. Yes, and Toastmaster Sheetal has rightly pointed out that we need to, right after the group picture, Toastmaster Shweta, Toastmaster Rudra, can we have you please? Toastmaster Sheetal, Toastmaster Amrish, Pratiti, Nidhi, if you can switch on your videos for a moment, please. And Sangeeta ji, can you please switch on, ma'am? Can you please switch on your video for a moment?
Done.
Okay. Let's just 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
I've got this real,
Okay,
the
okay.
meeting's over, right? So we can have a
Meeting's over.
casual talk.
Yes.
If somebody could please help me out with this gallery view of this, it was not
Let me first pause and stop the recording. Okay.
Yes.
Toastmaster Prasanna is there, right?